Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Browns Jets NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame preseason pregame show. Uh, we'll talk about tonight's Hall of Fame game between the Browns and the Jets at Tom Benson State Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. And we'll tell you what to expect and who is going to start and what we've seen in training camp so far and all that. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 Browns NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame trivia question. Which 1957 first round draft pick out of Syracuse University played 9 seasons in Cleveland and is known as one of the great running backs in NFL history? And I will have the answer later on the podcast. The Pro Football Hall of Fame game between the Browns and the New York Jets will kick off the preseason tonight at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. Now, we will not see any of the starters in tonight's game against the Jets because Stefanski wants them to be good and ready when the regular season starts. But we will see them in a couple of preseason games. Now, Sunday after practice, Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski told the media that rookie fifth-round pick Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the quarterback out of UCLA, would play quite a bit against the New York Jets in the Hall of Fame game tonight. Kevin Stefanski is often tight-lipped about who will play in the preseason games, but he did acknowledge that rookie fifth-round quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson is expected to play quite a bit against the New York Jets when the Browns face off against them in the Hall of Fame game tonight. Deshaun Watson has no business seeing the field against the Jets, but they still have three quarterbacks repping behind him at this point. So how game reps are divided in the preseason is worth monitoring. Josh Dobbs, Kellen Mond, and DTR all want their opportunity to showcase their ability in front of a national audience. Even if two make the final roster, that means one will have an opportunity to catch with another team. When asked whether he agreed, DTR got the sharper over the course of the week. Stefanski was happy with what he's seen, them acknowledging the rookie will see the field against the Jets. Yeah, I think he's had some good reps. I've been really pleased with that entire group. Now, you know DTR is going to play quite a bit in this game. So we are trying to get him ready to go as a rookie. So I think with each one of his reps, he is taking advantage of them. And that is very important to do that. You've got to take advantage of your reps when it comes to these preseason games. There's no indication, excuse me, when DTR will play or how long, but it stands to reason he will be the last quarterback in the game since he is a rookie if Dobbs starts the game, and he and Mond might get a quarter each with DTR getting most, if not all of the second half. The Browns want the rookie to get as many reps as possible as they look to develop him into someone that can be a good backup behind Deshaun Watson with hopes that he can develop into a quality starter in his own right. If you had hopes of seeing the Cleveland Browns' top two quarterbacks tonight, it won't be happening. Besides on the sideline in street clothes, head coach Kevin Stefanski announced his plans for the Pro Football Hall of Fame preseason opener against the Jets. Now, quarterback Kellen Mond will get the first half against the Jets, while rookie quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson will handle the work in the second half of play. And it will be a good chance for both quarterbacks to showcase their ability in a meaningless game. Now, Mond was claimed from by the Browns prior to the start of the 2022 season after being cut by the Minnesota Vikings. Mond was the 66th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, but fell out of plans for the Vikings rather quickly. Last season, Mond did not suit up for the Browns at all. Instead, he spent the season as the third quarterback. Thursday will be Browns fans' first chance to get a look at DTR outside of training camp practice. Uh, uh, his he's a player that can use his legs as well as his arm to beat you. Uh, he had a successful career at UCLA, in which he gradually improved and ended up a fifth round selection by the team this past draft cycle. Um, and last week, Jets head coach uh, Robert Saleh said that Zach Wilson will start for the Jets. New York will not be playing any of its starters. That includes Aaron Rodgers. We'll get back to talking about this in just a moment. But right now, it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scat Sports 101 NFL Football Hall of Fame Browns Jets trivia question. Well, it's a Browns trivia question. Which 1957 round draft pick out of Syracuse University played 9 seasons in Cleveland and is known as one of the greatest running backs in NFL history? And if you said the late, great Jim Brown, you are correct. Jim Brown was the NFL NFC Rookie of the Year, as well as the NFL's leading rusher his rookie season. He was selected to the Pro Bowl each of his 9 seasons with Cleveland. In his last season, he was voted MVP of both the Pro Bowl and the NFL. Brown was inducted into the 1971 Pro Football Hall of Fame. And I thought this was an appropriate trivia question for tonight because I wanted to take this. They're going to do a special in the life of Jim Brown as a tribute to him. And I wanted to do that trivia question was my tribute to Jim Brown as my little tribute, as I did a trivia podcast back in June for him. So I wanted to do that trivia. Now I have another trivia question on my next podcast. So stay tuned for that. Now I'm going to give you I'm going to give you some reasons. I'll give you some reasons to watch tonight's game. 5 reasons, and I'm going to give you those reasons right now. Our beloved Cleveland Browns take part in the Hall of Fame game tonight, squaring off against the New York Jets. It's been 24 years since the Browns last took part in the Hall of Fame game, and that was when I was still in elementary school. Well, when the guy who wrote this story, which was Chris Picorni, was in elementary school, it was him. But I was working at Catalano's Giant Eagle when I was working at the time. That was my second job. It was my only full-time job I've had. And that was about 25, 26 years old. So I was quite young then. And over the past, however many years, the Hall of Fame game has become a fun little moment, which I turn on the television to hear the announcers and see NFL teams in action for a series or two before continuing about my day. It signifies that football is here. But I really don't give a crap about the game. That changes when your team is involved, though it doesn't mean I'll be on the edge of my seat from the beginning to finish. But here are 5 things we should look for in today's preseason game from the Browns' perspective. Number 1 is the quarterback battle. This is not a game for starters, but rather to evaluate the younger talent or players who we don't know much about, with Deshaun Watson and Josh Dobbs locked up as the top 2 quarterbacks. That means the third job, whether it be on the 53-man roster or the practice squad, is between Kellen Mond and Dorian Thompson-Robinson. As reported earlier this week, Mond gets the start against the Jets in the first half, and Thompson is likely to play the second half. Cleveland added Mind after the preseason last year, and he stuck around in Cleveland on the 53-man roster all season. Late in the year, the team had even decided to keep him over Dobbs. Once Watson's suspension was up, the team saw something they liked in him, and now fans will get the opportunity to see why he was the former third-round pick by the Vikings. This moment matters for him because if he's outshined by the fast Thompson Robinson, it could be the beginning of the end of his time in Cleveland. Number 2 is the young receiver battles. With Marquise Goodwin being out indefinitely with blood clots, that opens up the door for a receiver on the back end of the roster, possibly to possibly make the team. We all know about Anthony Schwartz having the speed, but the team wouldn't have needed to sign Goodwin in the first place if they had faith in Schwartz. This is five ways to bring the ballpark to your home. There's some other reason. Another 2 receivers to keep an eye on today are the ones who have been camp stars thus far. Dalen Baldwin and Cedric Tillman. Tillman's roster security is pretty safe away since he was a third-round pick, but the better he plays, the more he could be an immediate contributor. Baldwin has been solid all around, as Jared Mueller pointed out. Tillman could have a fun rookie versus rookie matchup against Jarek Bernard, converse of the Jets. Now, number 3 is the special teams evaluation. The Browns only have 1 kicker in camp, so Cade York will get normal reps today. The rest of the day belongs to the kickoff units and coverage units. Bubba Ventrone, Ray Bubba Ventrone, is the Browns' new special teams coordinator. So that adds to the stakes. If you were previously a special teams guy, you will still need to prove yourself to see if Ventrone is impressed. The category might not be easy for the Browns. For Browns fans to see during the Hall of Fame game, but if you have a chance, try to pay attention to things like who the gunners are and who is first up to return kicks. Ventrone talked more about special teams evaluation here. Number 4 is making an impression up front. Cleveland invested heavily in the defensive line this offseason. There is no chance you're going to see Dalvin Tomlinson or Zadarius Smith or Ogbo Ogunranko suit up against the Jets. But Cleveland does have some young talent who they would love to evaluate today if they can be rotational contributors in the regular season. And that includes the likes of defensive tackle Sahaki Ika and third-round pick, and defensive end Isaiah McGuire, the 4th-round pick, can handle their own against the Jets backups. Will they be better? Will they be better than that? Worse? You can bet that some of the biggest Twitter film breakdowns after the game from the Browns analysts will focus on the defensive line play of these guys. And the last one, number 5, is the feel good about Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas is being honored at tonight's game, and Joe Thomas will be inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame this Saturday. Even though the Browns have produced many Hall of Famers, I don't have the pleasure of seeing any of them live in action. Joe Thomas is the first Browns player in my era to have made it to the Hall of Fame, and he is the definition of greatness. The consecutive snaps streak that he had may never be matched. He quickly turned his post-playing career into a football analyst, and he recently did an exclusive interview with DBN's Barry Shuck that I encourage you to check out. Thomas will officially be inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight, and you can bet that he'll be featured in the broadcast. Well, he'll be inducted in the Hall of Fame tonight, not Saturday. Well, tonight and Saturday. We'll do it both days. So, and he'll be featured in the broadcast heavily. And those are the 5 reasons to watch tonight's game. So there's going to be a lot to take in, but I'm looking forward to tonight's game. And I really think the Browns are going to win this. I'm saying the Browns 24, the Jets 19. I'm going to go 24-19. So I think this will be a good game. Remember, this is just preseason, and these games do not mean a thing. They don't mean anything. So just remember, it is only a preseason game. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101. Browns Jets NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame preseason pregame show. I'll be back with the postgame show once the Pro Football Hall of Fame game between the Browns and the Jets has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.